Gladiator fights at a juvenile detention facility. 143 kids beaten. You know, what's the prize? Like, maybe if you win the gladiator tournament, like, maybe you win a fucking, fentanyl milkshake or something. Do you win a, internship with MS-13? Something like... 30 LA County corrections officers charged with enabling gladiator fights at a juvenile facility, guys.
And breaking news, 30 probation officers facing criminal charges stemming from a months-long investigation into the troubled Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall.
Take it in. Just really absorb what I'm saying here. 30 LA County corrections officers, right, charged with enabling gladiator fights at a juvenile detention facility. That's what's happening in Los Angeles. 30 of them. 30 in jail officers. Like, basically cops, right? But for kids. Kids, when they're sent to juvie, they call it, don't they? Charged, not just suspected, actually charged now with creating or coordinating gladiator fights. I mean, it's creative. You got to pass the time somehow, right? Coordinating gladiator fights at it's not just a jail, right? It's not just like a county jail or like a proper penitentiary or something, but a children's detention facility. So it's the longer you get into the sentence that I'm saying, the more disturbing and depressing it becomes. Like, is this worse than dogfights? Or like modestly better? I don't know. California Attorney General Rob Bonta charged 30 corrections officers, can't do the accent tonight, in Los Angeles County for allegedly enabling gladiator fights at Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall. Right. Officers at Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall have a duty to ensure the safety and well-being of those under their care. Instead, the officers charged today did just the opposite, overseeing gladiator fights when they should have intervened, Bonta said. Overseeing, it says. Overseeing. I mean, that could mean like two different things, couldn't it? Overseeing means, is an oversight, or it could also mean, in charge of, coordinating the thing. So, I mean, I'm slightly unclear here. It says the 30 corrections officers face charges including child abuse, conspiracy, and battery related to the so-called gladiator fights. According to Bonta's office, the charged officers allowed and sometimes encouraged 69 fights at Los Padrinos between July the 1st and December the 31st, 2023. Well, I mean, New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve, things can get a bit messy, I think, on New Year's Eve. It wouldn't be the first New Year's Eve I have had or been to where, everyone's had a few drinks, it all gets a bit out of hand, fisticuffs happen. So maybe we give them that one for free, I think. As the state prosecutors said, 143 kids between the ages of 12 and 18 were beaten during those 6 months. 143. How the fuck does that happen? 143 kids beaten in fucking gladiator fights in 2023, just a couple of years ago. It's like some Lord of the Flies, battle royale shit, isn't it? 143 kids between the ages of 12 and 18 beaten through those 6 months. How is it in 2023? There wasn't a cook or a cleaner. There wasn't even for a second they were do you know what? I feel a bit weird about this, to be honest with you. With these kids, with these children being allowed and they being encouraged to physically beat one another until they leave the cafeteria with broken, swinging limbs. I'm not totally comfortable with this, frankly. Like, how does that happen? How did not one person speak up? I mean, that's always the question, isn't it? How did nobody put their hand up and raise a concern? It says the indictment and the filing of criminal charges is an important step to holding these officers accountable and addressing shortfalls at Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall, Ponta said. Let today's charges be a warning for all those who abuse their power. The California Department of Justice is watching, and we will hold you accountable, he said. Okay. They're watching, are they? They weren't watching for those 6 months, though, were they? The fuck were they watching? The director of Los Padrinos is among the charged officials. Defense attorney Tom Yu said his client pleaded not guilty. Like, come on, man. Have some fucking dignity. Like, 143 kids beaten over the space of 6 months, and he didn't hear anything about it. Where does the buck stop, if not the director of that juvenile detention facility? Come on, man. His lawyer said they didn't know about this the fights. I mean, how were they supposed to stop something that they didn't know about? Which is, it's a defense, I suppose. I mean, you're basically saying that the director of the facility had no idea, no control over what was taking place in his or her own facility. Like, just a useless director. Yeah, but it's not illegal to be useless. The officers have been placed on leave without pay. We have a zero tolerance policy for misconduct of any peace officers. It says, embroiled in controversy for years, a state inspector deemed Los Padrinos unsuitable in December 2024 after staff could not stem the flow of drugs. I mean, the thing that's missing from this piece on CBS News is, like, I'd like to know what they won. You know, it says, like, one after the other. They go, like, a kid comes in, they fight, and then whoever the winner is stays on, and then another kid comes in, they fight. It's a gladiator tournament, right? But what do they win? It says, like, they got a drugs problem in there, in the detention facility. They couldn't stem the flow of drugs, it said. But maybe if you win the gladiator tournament, like, maybe you win a fucking, fentanyl milkshake or something. What's the prize for winning the gladiator tournament, for staying on and beating everyone that's... What do you win for the winning chief gladiator guy? Do you win a, like, fucking internship with MS-13? Something like...